Yes.
So as college students, I'm sure most of you can relate that we swim in debt just so we can go to college. That's why I'm proposing that public colleges across the United States should be tuition-free. And by public colleges, I mean colleges that are operated and partially funded by the federal government, such as Cal Poly Pomona and UCLA. And tuition-free means colleges cannot charge students for tuition. Now, let's go to my first claim. So point A, the federal loan system is too heavily flawed to succeed in the long term. According to Student Loan Hero 2017 student loan debt statistics, the outstanding student loan debt is $1.29 trillion with 3.5 million borrowers. 4 million, or 12% of these borrowers, are in default, which totals up to $67.5 billion. So that's $67.5 billion in student debt that hasn't been paid back in time. Also, according to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, student loan debt has been steadily increasing. In 2005, it was $373 billion, and today it is $1.29 trillion. This is a 112% increase. Also in 2005, there are only 23.3 million borrowers compared to 31.5 million borrowers in 2017, and this is only a 30% increase. So in 2005, there was roughly $16,000 per borrower compared to $41,000 per borrower in 2017. So not only are there more borrowers, people are borrowing way more than ever before. Now let's move on to subpoint B. Students irresponsibly use loans and they fail to pay them back. According to Spring Break Student Loan Study at lendedu.com in 2017, 23.8% of students admit to using student loan money for alcohol spending, and 33.4% of students admit to using student loan money for clothing and other accessories, as well as restaurants and takeout. So when people go to college, it's one of the first times in their life that they get freedom. So it's reasonable to assume that lending them such a large amount of money could result in some uncontrolled spending. Also, according to LendEDU, 49.8% of students admitted or believe that they would in fact be helped by federal student loan forgiveness programs after graduations. So this data shows that many students don't exactly understand how federal loans work, and it could imply that some will fail to pay back their loans completely. Now let's move to my second claim, that the public higher education needs to be fixed because it's too expensive and economically biased toward the wealthy. Subpoint A, college tuition has risen out of proportion. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the price of tuition in 2010, college tuition has risen out of proportion compared to the Consumer Price Index. Also, according to an article published by The Economist, median household income has grown by a factor of 6.5 in the past 40 years, but the cost of attending a state college has increased by a factor of 15 for in-state students and 24 for out-of-state students. So this proves that college tuition is rising too fast for people to keep up with. Subpoint B, college has become increasingly unaffordable for the majority of American citizens. According to a College Board article called Trends in College Pricing, published in 2014, average income was lower in inflation-adjusted dollars in 2013 than it had been in 2003 for all but the highest income families. Again, because of the rise in tuition costs and the fall of average income, students are forced to take out more and more loans just to pay for college. And subpoint C, recently colleges have been spending more money on unnecessary amenities and construction. According to a US News article called Schools Offer Gee Whiz Gyms in 2014, according to a survey released in 2013 by the National Intramural and Recreational Sports Association, leaders in collegiate recreation, 92 institutions reported plans for construction or renovation for a total of more than $1.7 billion in capital projects. And an example of like these really outlandish gyms that we have is the Brick at our campus. So we're starting to lose the main focus of college, which is to help students develop and learn skills for the future. And it's becoming more of like a resort with all these facilities. And finally, my last claim, free tuition will benefit society as a whole. Subpoint A, free tuition would diminish the poverty cycle. According to the United States Census Bureau, income and poverty in the United States. Blacks and Hispanics have had the lowest historical mean household income. And because these groups of people generally have lower income, it's generally harder for them to afford college. So a free tuition system will help more of these people in. So point B, more educated people means a better society. According to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, education not only enables individuals to perform better in the labor market, but also helps improve their overall health, promote citizenship, and contain violence. So by providing easier financial access to college, more people would be encouraged to go to college and get the education they need to become better members of society. And last, point C, the job market is demanding more and more service jobs, which require higher education. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, employment by major industry sector in 2016, goods producing jobs, excluding agriculture, only make up 11.9% of employment compared to 81% in services. From 2006 to 2016, there was an increase of 10,500 new service jobs compared to a loss of 2,800 goods producing jobs. So because college education is a requirement for the majority of jobs today, it needs to be more accessible to everyone who is willing to invest their time in college. And lastly, the plan of action is, first, the tuition would only be covered for 2 years if a student is pursuing an associate's degree, and 4 years if a student is pursuing a bachelor's degree. Second, students will need a minimum GPA of 3.0 to qualify for this free tuition. Third, the government will decide how much funding a college gets based on their enrollment. The colleges can't simply decide how much money they want. Fourth, colleges will have to eliminate seemingly useless classes and focus more on the general education. Fifth, we'll have to cut spending on lavish amenities such as recreation fitness facilities, fancy diners, and buffets. And lastly, we'll have to raise taxes just enough to cover tuition.